Hi, I'm Roderick Carmody, and today's topic is the role of the CFO in times of business uncertainty. My guest today is Todd Ford, the CFO of Coupa. Todd, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me, Roderick.
Absolutely. And to get us started, would you mind providing a short overview of Coupa?
Koopa is a business spend management platform, SaaS, software as a service, that helps company manage all elements of spend, whether it be procurement, invoicing, expenses, and then other things such as strategic sourcing, contract lifecycle management. So the full suite of business spend management solutions in one technology platform.
Excellent. Thanks, Todd. My first question is, what was it like throwing out the first pitch of the San Francisco Giant game? I saw the video, and it looks like you've got a pretty strong fastball.
Yeah, it was unexpected. I've been a lifelong Giants fan, and one of my claims to fame is I pitched against Barry Bonds in high school. So being able to throw out the first pitch, a little bit nerve-wracking, quite frankly, because there's no upside. If you throw a good pitch, everyone expects it. If you throw a bad pitch, you hear about it for the rest of your life.
Very, very good. Well, it was a nice pitch. My compliments. Thanks. My first real question is, Coupa is not only surviving, but thriving against the current backdrop, with your market cap doubling since January 1st. I'm curious, as CFO, what actions did you and your team take to survive the immediate shock of the pandemic?
Obviously, the pandemic caught a lot of people off guard. And really, the first core element was to make sure that the company could continue to operate, right, from a DevOps perspective, a work from home perspective. But we really looked at it as an opportunity, quite frankly, from a business resiliency perspective. If you look at the past few economic downturns and the financial crisis and the dot-com crisis, there's been a lot of work been done by Harvard and McKinsey with respect to the companies that continue to invest in R&D, go to market, and actually acquisitions. We've done a couple acquisitions during the pandemic that they come out stronger for extended periods of time, like 10 years plus. So that's really how we looked at it. Stabilize the business and then position ourselves for long-term success.
As the events have unfolded since then, and the world seems to be changing day to day, how are you and your CFO peers positioned to change your strategy on the fly and to still make decisions with confidence, but also quickly?
Yeah, a lot of that depends on the companies and where they are in their digital transformation journey, quite frankly. Having the ability, the visibility and control and agility to change to the continuing market conditions, macro and micro, socio-economic, whatever it might be, and being able to make the investments that are going to create the longest term shareholder value. But you need to have the right people, process, and systems in place to do that.
That's great. In your opinion, why is now, of all times, the summer of 2020, the best times for CFOs to assume greater roles of leadership at their organizations?
Anytime you're in a storm, which we are, you want to have somebody that's got a steady hand on the wheel. And the CFO has full visibility into the organization. It's the steward of the company's capital, which is its lifeline. And being able to help the organization understand where they are from an operational perspective and where to invest incremental dollars, or maybe pull back in some cases as well. You're given them the dashboards by which to operate their business, and also instill confidence within your employees, your stakeholders, your prospects, and your customers.
Todd, as a CFO who took Coupa and other companies public, what advice would you have for other CFOs that may have had visions of going public in 2020, but now find themselves in the middle of a global pandemic?
The easy part is going public. The hard part is being a public company. Whether it's a pandemic or not, I would always say wait till you're ready. If you're going to make any mistakes, you want to make them as a private company. And the pandemic has given you the opportunity to make sure that you've hardened your processes, people, process, and systems. And if you go into next year and things do improve, the current year during the pandemic should provide a good compare for you from which to launch an IPO.
So let's go back to when a younger Todd Ford assumed his first CFO role. What advice would you give him to make sure that he's accrued the proper skill sets for today's modern CFO role?
Yeah, if you look at the role of the CFO, there's two parts: backwards looking, which is a little bit more technical, and forward looking, which is very much operational. I call it the sixth sense. Where you should invest an incremental dollar of value to optimize shareholder value. So I would say get as much operational expertise as you can. And then, as you continue to build your team, you're only as strong as your team, and always hire people that are smarter than you. And I've been very fortunate at Koopa to have a very strong team, which has enabled us to scale and grow in a very rapid fashion within the 6 years that I've been here. Not quite.
Excellent. Well, Todd, thank you very much for your time today. Really appreciate your thoughts and insights. Have a great one, and go Giants.
Great. Thank you for having me.